second meeting of the Board of Public Works and Safety. Roll call.
Mr. Wendy?
Here.
Mr. Desani?
Here.
Mr. Smith?
Here.
Are there any conflict of interest statements?
There are none.
Approval of the minutes. I don't think anyone had a chance to review them yet.
Mr. President, I move that we defer the minutes.
And I'll concur. Next order of business, we need to open the floor for nominations for President of the Board of Public Works and Safety. Do I have any nominations?
I nominate Bobby Lindy.
And I'll second that nomination. Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. Those in favor of Bobby Lindy for president, state aye.
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 Aye. Those against? None. Okay, now we move down to correspondence, and I'll turn it over to Bobby.
Thank you, Stan. Item A, change order number 2 for Columbia Avenue reconstruction.
This is a change order. It's about $4,500. It'll be paid 80% federal, and it's for modification of the traffic signal setup to meet the latest handicap accessibility standards. So I'd like to make a motion that we approve that change order.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item B, anticipated task summary sheet for interior drainage investigation on Northcott.
This is it's for $65,000. There still are about 250 homes that are not out of the floodplain. This is going to specifically address the area near Northcott Avenue and River Drive. We're going to be doing some roadway improvements there. We're going to be making some changes that will potentially make these people eligible to come out of the floodplain, and some additional survey work needs to be done. In addition, there's an item here for levee inspections for us to maintain the requirement that people do not have to have flood insurance. So this will be something that we're going to have to do on an annual basis to maintain that designation. So I'd like to make a motion that we approve the task summary sheet 18.
Motion's been made by Mr. Destatny. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item C, approval of the legal notice for the public information meeting on the Chicago Avenue project.
Yeah, we're going to hold two separate meetings on Tuesday, May 7th, one at 12:30 here at Hammond City Hall, and a second one at Washington Irving Middle School on Pine Avenue. And I'd like to make a motion that we approve both of those hearings.
Motion's been made by Mr. Destatny. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item E. D. Item D is correspondence from Chief Miller requesting permission from the Hammond Hermits to hold their annual opening day parade. Have you reviewed the route, Mr. Destatny?
Yes.
Is it acceptable?
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the route.
A motion's been made by Mr. Destatny. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Item E, there's been an amendment to the Master Services Agreement between the Hammond City Jail and Securus Technologies. The amendment appears to have been reviewed by the city attorney.
Mr. President, this appears to be an extension of time.
Is there a motion to approve the agreement?
So moved.
It's been moved by Mr. Destatny. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Item F, we have a lease agreement with Fire Services for the leasing of 2 pieces of fire apparatus. Mr. Smith?
Has that been reviewed by the fire chief? And
Mr. President, it appears we're buying a big fire truck. Two
big-
big fire trucks.
Two fire engines.
I'm sorry, 2 big fire trucks.
Yes.
900,000 on 2 fire trucks.
I'll make a motion that we approve the fire service agreement.
It's been motioned by Mr. DeStaton. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item G is a confirmation of, where did item G go? Item G will defer. Item H.
Stuff to hear.
Oh, there it is. Item G is a contract for internet service for the city of Hammond that's been reviewed by the city attorney. It appears to be a 36-month extension. Is there a motion to approve the extension agreement? Been moved by Mr. DeStaton. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item H is a conflict of interest statement between an employee in the City of Hammond Police Garage and R&S Auto Body. We'll note that for the record. Item I.
I need that, Mr. President, once it's signed, I will need to send the appropriate copies down to the appropriate agencies listed at the bottom of the second page. So you need to sign in the middle of the second page.
Very good. Item I, correspondence from Attorney Alvarez requesting a continuance of the business license revocation for Star Foods at 1205 Chicago Avenue.
Mr. President, this was the individual who was selling the fake marijuana, the Scooby-Doo marijuana, and his attorney, Mr. Alvarez, does have a conflict in his schedule, has requested 2 weeks to appear for hearing.
Mr. DeStaton, he's requesting May 16th. Is there a motion to move it to that date?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next, hearing on property located at 6609 Jefferson. All interested parties, please come forward. Oh, okay. We're going to defer item J towards the end of the meeting. Item K.
Mr. President, I think we're going to continue, Jay, because there is an attorney, Attorney Garland, she does not appear to be here. Oh,
She's gonna be
oh,
here.
she's coming, okay, I'm sorry.
She's gonna be here at the break.
Okay, that's fine. I didn't want to start without the attorney.
Item K. 814 Hoffman. Mr.
Good morning.
Mannix.
This is First Federal Savings and Loan Association property. They obtained title through foreclosure proceedings. It's vacant. And now we've got notice that apparently the second floor apartment had been converted without permits. What the bank wants to do, it's already put it out, requested bids from contractors to determine what it takes to restore it to a single-family residence or necessary work to bring it up to code to see if it could remain a two-story or a two-unit. So we'd like 60 days to do that investigation, then meet with the city and see what needs to be resolved.
That would be what, like August 1st?
May, June, sometime in July would be fine.
Late July? Oh, yeah, July, you're right. July 11th.
July 11th?
That'd be fine.
July 11th.
Thank you.
All right. Item L, we have a correspondence from Attorney Murphy requesting a continuance. Can I have the first date in June?
June 6th.
June 6th. Is there a motion to continue item L to June 6th?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item M, hearing on property located at 4904 Ash. All interested parties, please come forward.
Oh, is this a double? Okay, Mr. President. President, if you'll recall, back in March, this was a property that had a fire, and the individual came to the Board of Works and said that he wasn't going to put any money into repairing it. It was set for demolition hearing last week, Thursday, and he had sent over a request for continuance. However, based on his earlier statements that he wasn't going to put any money into fixing it, the board denied it and entered the demolition order, which was affirmed. I believe that demolition order is being recorded. At this point in time, he would have to enter an agreement to rehabilitate the property. Being that he does not appear now, I would say
I believe there's no action necessary on this.
necessary. Property's already been affirmed for demolition.
Very good. Item N, notice of violation on property at 6724 Calumet.
We're asking for the removal of the second floor apartment, no permits to convert, no fire separation.
I'll make a motion that we concur with the order.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item O, notice of violation on property at 6810 Kennedy.
We are asking for the removal of the rear apartment. It will be a single-family home.
My name is Adam Williams. I'm going to buy the place as long as everything's in compliance, which it seems to be.
Who are you? Please state your name and address.
Adam Williams. I currently run a business for the last 11 years in Hammond, 4 blocks down on Kennedy Avenue, that I've been renting. I want to buy this property where I will live. I live by myself. You guys want it to be a single-family home. I guess it was a 2-unit residence, which was a violation or whatever, so that's taken care of. It's just going to be me there.
At this point, Mr. Williams, you have no ownership interest in the property.
I'm going to buy it.
But you, at this point, you have no ownership.
At this point, no, I'm not going to, I got the land contract here. I'll sign it tomorrow, as long as everything's, okay. Which and they're painting now, and we do in-home carpet cleaning. We go to people's homes, and I'm going to run my office and live there.
Based on your statements, then, Mr. Williams, you would take no exception to the city of Hammond entering an order to remove the illegal apartment at that residence.
It's already been
would you?
done. I mean, it's vacant, and it's just going to be me.
Is there a motion then to affirm the order?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Good?
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Item P, notice of violation on property located at 836 Mulberry Street. All interested parties, please come forward.
We're asking for the removal of the basement apartment, ceiling height, anywhere from 6'3" to 6'7" in the basement. Also, the rear apartment, no permits to convert. Ms. Williams is here.
Ms. Williams, now is your opportunity to comment on the assertion of the cities that you have 2 illegal apartments at your residence.
Well, I purchased a home like that. I didn't do anything to it at all. I would like to have the opportunity to bring it up to code if possible. Because I have been renting out the rear apartment for at least 6 years. I have gotten permits every single year to rent it out. I didn't know it was illegal because I bought it. I purchased a home like that.
A few windows that are in there are extremely tight.
But the basement apartment, I would like to try to bring it up to code if possible, to make it a legal unit.
You won't be able to. It doesn't have adequate window area. What, the ceiling height is too low too, right?
Yeah.
No, the
The
ceiling.
ceiling height is about 6'5" on tall glass block windows. She's never gonna be able to get the ceiling height to get the 7-foot minimum required. And it's a cellar, not a basement. City had an ordinance that the cellar's not used as habitable space. We may be able to talk about the second unit, it's ground level. We may be able to make some concessions there. We didn't see any purpose to convert it at some point. Maybe the garage has been converted, we're not sure.
You understand the reason for a minimum ceiling height is because if there's a fire in your basement, we have to send firefighters down. You may have to put somebody over their shoulder and carry them out, which they will be unable to do when your basement is 6'3" if there's a person down there that's...
Well, when I spoke to a contractor at Town and Country, talked to contractors, and they told me the ceiling height was fine. So, I mean, that's what he told me. I just have been working with them. So, but if, you know, I just want to try it to at least bring it up to code if I can.
Well, we have an order in front of us that will order your property to be rehabilitated up to code.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Is there a motion on the findings in order?
So moved.
To accept?
Yes.
Is there a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'm sorry, could I please have her name, just
Bradenishia Williams.
Item Q, notice of violation at 506 Spruce. 508 Spruce. Any interested parties, please come forward.
We're asking for the removal of the basement apartment, ceiling height 6'7", no permits to convert. The property manager is cooperating. He said he will remove it.
I'll make a motion that we confirm the order.
Been motioned by Mr. DeStanton. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item R, notice of violation at 4732 Hickory.
Again, we're asking for the removal of the basement apartment, ceiling height 6'5", no permits, no fire separation. They did pull a permit to demo the basement.
I'll make a motion that we confirm the order.
Motion by Mr. DeStanton. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item S, notice of violation at 911 150th Street.
We're asking for the removal of the first floor rear apartment and the second floor apartment. This property already has been converted to a single-family home. Permits have been pulled.
Is there a motion on, motion on the order? Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item T, agreement to rehabilitate 443 Conkey. The agreement appears to have been prepared by the City of Hammond and signed by the opposing party. Is there a motion to approve the agreement?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item U, rental registration at 7208 Chestnut and 3527 164th.
Mr. President, for item T, there was actually 443 Conkey, 1233 Sherman, and 4149 Sheffield. I just want to make sure all three get signed. Each one's about 2 pages long.
Mr. DeStanton, would you amend your motion, please, to include those other properties?
Yes. So amended.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Now item T. The appeal of rental registration at 7208 Chestnut and 3527 164th Street.
Good morning. Randy Rawls, 5150 East US Highway 30, owner of the properties, and request for reduced fine or dismissal, first-time offense.
Mr. President, on this, I have that there's a property manager. We continuously sent letters. Owner never responded. And now he's here to ask that the rental registration late fees be waived, but didn't respond to the communications that would have made such a request unnecessary.
If I'm
11/2 of 12 sent 30-day letter to register property as president owes $80. 12/2/12, owner never responded to 30-day letter sent to collections. Collections letter 1513, asking for rental registration in the amount of $580. Water bills, R&J Investments, bills mailed to Marigold, consistent usage since June of 2012, no consumption before April.
The only thing I can say to that is I did not receive any correspondence until I believe we sent correspondence back on April 1st, or was stamped by your office here on April 1st. We had sent a letter.
Are you in the business of property management?
No, these are properties we own.
How many years have you owned it?
We bought it in April of 12.
Both of them at the same time? Both?
One was in April and one was in November, I believe.
November of 12?
Yeah. Mhm.
These both single-family homes?
Yes, sir.
Do we currently have your address so you can get notifications from now on, in case anything else goes wrong? Because you didn't receive the, Chris, you said
Yeah,
the
I'm
one
not
he didn't
sure.
receive before?
What-
Mr. President, the address we have in our files now is 5150 East US Highway 30 in Maryville.
I believe they might have been going to the house. I'm not sure where they went.
Mr. President, in February of this year, the collections received an email that they want to dispute the rental registration and advise to contact the Board of Public Works. So they were at least getting the mail as of February.
Right. And that's when we acted upon, sent in the letter to find out what to do.
You know, you guys manage any other properties in the city?
No,
Just
they're
those two?
ours. Well, we have 2 other properties.
In the city?
Yeah,
In Hammond?
that we bought in 12.
You get letters for those for registration, or renew those?
We have registered since then.
I mean, how long have you had those other two properties?
Those 2 properties, let me see. But
I guess what I'm getting at is if you have other 2 properties that you do rental registrations, then you know that
yeah,
these 2 should have probably been,
these were bought, I think,
Also.
after, let me see, the Chestnut was in April, and then we bought 164th Street in November. We bought a property in Ohio.
what year,
Street
was it
on-
13 or 12?
They're all 12. This one was bought in July.
So those just recently got
Yeah,
registered
but
also?
they never sent any notice for any of those. So I have one that I bought in July, April, November, and then one other property.
Who didn't send you a notice?
Pardon?
Who didn't send you a notice?
Whoever sent the original notice is here.
Because you were notified that both properties needed to be registered in 2012. One on 164th, you were sent a letter 1031, and the one on Chestnut, 11/2/12.
Right.
You received information.
Yeah, those 2 we never received to our office. And then we have 4 properties. One was April, one was November, one was July, and then we have a property on 163rd. I think it was 163rd.
Is there any additional information you wish to relay to the board regarding your appeal?
Just that I didn't receive the information. I'm here to make it right, and we will do it right. And we try to be honest, ethical, and run our businesses very well. And like to see that we can get some leniency here as a first time.
Based on the testimony given, is there a motion related to Mr. Rawls' appeal? Based on the testimony given, is there a motion related to Mr. Rawls' appeal? Seeing as no motion is being made, Mr. Rawls, your appeal is denied.
Okay. Thank you.
Item V, rental registration at 2522 White Oak.
How you doing?
Good morning. This is your appeal. This is your opportunity to relay to the board any information related to your appeal.
This is my father's house, and I live there, and I don't rent it from him. He basically bought it and pays the mortgage for me and my family.
Okay. This is Mr. Weed?
Yes.
And you're also Mr. Weed, obviously.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a, we have what's called an affidavit of related living that exists in the basement in our building department. It's basically an affidavit that you'll fill out and say, I'm the son of the owner, I live here, and I don't pay rent. And at that point, we can dismiss your case. Would you take any exception to signing an affidavit that you're a son and don't pay any rent?
Right, I don't pay no rent. I just pay the regular bills.
I help him with that too.
Very good. Is there a motion for 2522 White Oak?
I'll make the motion.
To dismiss action?
Yes, to dismiss, I'm sorry.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you very much. All you'll need to do is go to the basement to the building department, ask them to fill out an affidavit of familial living at the property.
Thank you.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Item W. The request for rental registration hearings on several properties. Is there a date, Mr. DeStatney?
When do we want to do that? 2 weeks out or further?
Probably a little further.
would be May 30th.
May
May 30th?
May 30th? May 30th for item W. Item X, we have correspondence from Mr. Gleason indicating that a time study was done for Mulberry and Harrison, and a stop sign is not warranted. Is there a motion to concur with Mr. Gleason's?
So moved.
Is there a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next, we have correspondence from Ms. Susan Elliott requesting signage be placed in her neighborhood to alert drivers that there is a blind child in the area.
I'll make a motion that that be referred to Gary Gleason.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item Z, correspondence from School City of Hammond requesting permission to place dumpsters on the north side of 120th Street. It does. June 7th to June 14th.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we approve that request.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Item 2A, correspondence from Nicole Ausmus requesting permission to hold a block party July 27th from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. with street closure of 177th Street between Walnut and Birch.
I'll make a motion that we approve the block party.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item 2B, we have several garage sale permits requesting approval. They all appear to be 1- and 2-day permits. Is there a motion on the permits?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Now we need to go back to
Item J. 6609 Jefferson.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We've been working with the city on this matter. There are some additional documents that I think that we need to get from NIPSCO to provide to the city. We'd ask for approximately 45 to 60 days.
You have a 60-day date, Mr. DeSantis.
Now, the property is marked uninhabitable, correct?
June 6th.
Does your client still have tenants in there?
Yes, he does. There are no emergency issues here. I think what we have here is a legal non-conforming use issue.
Wait a minute, it's marked uninhabitable because you don't have fire separation.
Okay.
That's a serious issue.
We believe that all of these issues are grandfathered in. That's why we're trying to provide this documentation. The last time that we were here, the inspector was asked whether or not they felt that it was an emergency issue, and they indicated that they did not.
Obviously, we thought it was an emergency issue because we marked it uninhabitable. One of the pictures there show a chase in the chimney that goes from the basement all the way to the attic. No fire block, no fire separation. The attic basement apartment is actually 6364, no egress. Same issue with the other apartments.
Mr. President, I don't want to interrupt, but we're not going to do the hearing now and then do the hearing on June 6th. So maybe we should just set this over for June 6th and let both parties get their documentation together.
What does that take? $2,500 a day for not being in.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All right. Item 6, are there any matters from other board members?
I try to continue, but I thought he was here. And then he said, oh, she's coming.
I had
Is requesting a hearing for rental registration. She would like it Wednesday or Friday after 2:30. Because she says she cannot be here on Thursdays.
She can always get an attorney and send her attorney, but we do these meetings on Thursdays.
Should we just send her a letter from the
Just give her another Thursday.
department telling her that meetings are only on Thursday and that she could designate a representative?
Is that your motion, Mr. DeStanton? Is there a second? All in favor? Aye. Is there any other matters from department heads or board members? Is there any new or old business? The meeting is now open to the public. Anybody from the public wishing to address the board, now is your opportunity to do so.
I've
I'm Paul Walker from AutoZone on Calumet Avenue. We're doing construction there. And I need to know if we can have permission to close the sidewalk on Calumet Avenue for 2 weeks.
Is that North Hammond? One at
Yes.
North Hammond?
What are the dates of the closure?
May 6th through the 20th, we'll reopen it for safeties, for people walking along, until we get the steel set and the roof and stuff on the building.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, they're
I
putting
was
new,
out there looking at the construction of the building right up
putting
next.
new-
Yeah, it's like 5 foot from the sidewalk.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion that we approve closure of the sidewalk for those dates.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Mr. President, should we forward that to the street department so they could put up the little horses? The horses are cute.
Well, the responsibility should be the contractor.
Contractors.
Responsibility.
Now, do we need to put signs at the crosswalk areas? Okay.
They'll take care of all that, right?
Oh, okay.
I just want to make sure somebody's going to and that we know who it's going to be.
Yeah, we'll take care of
Make
it.
sure that so they don't fall into Calumet Avenue, because the sidewalk's right on the curb there.
Yes,
The wind or anything, whatever, how you're gonna put them up.
we'll fence it off.
Stop them back at the two streets so that they don't try to go through there and walk out into Calumet.
Understand. We'll take care of it.
Thank you, Mr. Walker.
Thank you.
Is there any other members of the public that wish to address the board? Seeing there are none, is there a motion to adjourn? All in favor?
Aye.
Holding
Aye.
a plan.
We were told to be here for, they continued us from last month.
Can you please come forward, ma'am?
We were here for, supposed to meet with you guys last month, and Juanita postponed us and said to come today, and now I don't have you calling us at all.
What's your address? What's the address?
It was
of the
at
property in
238
question?
Vine. And I am also waiting for information from her on building codes. And she told us she would get back to us 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks from the other meeting, and it's been 5 weeks and we haven't heard from her at all.
I'm not sure what this is related to. I did not know this case was hearing was going to be from the board works today. If you'd like to speak to you after the meeting, what is this regarding?
Well, I'm still waiting for information from you guys, so if you want to continue it until June, that.
What is this in regards to though?
We have an old house, and Juanita came in and said that the kitchen wasn't legal. Well, I found that the kitchen sink and everything is from 1926. I have pictures of it. I called Kohler. They said it was 1926. So it was built in 1926 or 27, around there. The land was bought in 1925. I've done a lot of research, pulled a lot of titles, pulled a lot of census, pulled a lot of city directories, and have found that ever since there's been copies of any information, it has always been 2 units, or 2 families living in one place with 2 kitchens.
Again, I don't have a file in front of me. Juanita is not here. I was not aware that this was in front of the board. As much as I hate to inconvenience you again, if you give me an opportunity to get the file and get to Juanita and get whatever information you need, glad to provide that to you soon.
Okay, I have a question. When I filed one of those things and the lawyer's office signed it to send it up to, down to the basement, I would like to actually see the building permits.
Absolutely.
Can you make copies of them, not just somebody write something out? I've gone,
Mr. Kearney?
that's what I'm very interested in.
That we dismiss this because it was supposed to be scheduled for today. We checked the older minutes on March 28th, it was scheduled. You guys talk about it, make a decision, and if you want to redo it later, bring it back up, but we're not going to hear it today.
The motion by Mr. DeStatney is to dismiss action at 238 Vine. Is there a second? All in favor?
Thank you.
Aye. Anyone else from the public wishing to address the board?
These are for the 1023 Chicago Avenue. Hay que rentar registración. I'm sorry, my nerves is,
What is the question?
they asking me for $1,740. I'm not renting yet this house. My brother's living there.
What's the address?
1023.
1023?
Yes.
Right here, Bob.
Place your paperwork, please.
One of the ones listed for May
Oh.
30th.
I'm sorry.
Chris, he requested the hearing date. We gave him the May 30th.
Okay, I'll write it on here.
I never rented this house, you know. I did not, I had to register.
Can you return the 30th of May?
30 May?
Who did you say lives there?
My brother.
Do you charge him rent?
No, I never charged my brother.
Okay. Yeah, he won't have to show back up. Chris, will you
Yeah,
explain?
I'm giving it right.
All right.
Affidavit.
Anybody else wishing to address
Go
the
to the basement and tell them that you need.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
Just show them this.
All in favor?
Okay, thank you so much.
Aye.